My name is SHAMAKI, and today we'll be discussing church media. So today we'll be looking at how to connect our camera to our system and then to the screen. So first and foremost, you know that you need a tripod where your camera will be resting on, and then so loose up the camera, the tripod, and then now you need your tripod to be in a position that is equivalent to what you're looking at. Now this camera is going to be focusing on the altar alone. So if that is the case, we need to hold this. We need to move it up a bit. All right? We need to move it up to balance it with the altar, because the height of whoever is coming up is also very important. And the height of who is standing on the camera is equally important. So I think this is okay for me. Or let me reduce it a bit. So this is okay for me because I have to be able to access the camera. And then we have this camera. If you're going to be using a stable shot, you need to have a camera with a full HDMI. That will help you to be able to access your feed plus audio. The HDMI gives you both the audio and the video in a HD format. So we have a 20-meter HDMI. So this is it. And then on the camera, you see that the camera has a full HDMI here. So not all camera has full HDMI, but you need to have a camera for a better resolution. You need to have a camera with HDMI. Also, if you don't have HDMI, this camera also has where you can put in your AV as well. Okay? So we're going to mount our camera on the tripod. So, and then you release. So it has clipped. All right. Now I'm seeing that the tripod, the camera is too high, so I'm going to make adjustment to it. I will reduce it a bit, and I will tidy here. Now all these gadgets are very delicate. They're very delicate, and you need to be very careful while handling them. All right. So next we're going to fix in our HDMI. So HDMI, reason why most people don't use HDMI is that HDMI is expensive, and also it spoils easily. So you have to be very careful while handling it. Now, to handle it properly, you put your HDMI like this and you cross it, so that the reason why we are doing this is, number one, if you just put the HDMI directly, it's heavy, so it draws the camera down. So once you slot this in, this here supports the HDMI without it having to slant or anything. So once you put that in,
no, assistant like retire.
I think we are done. So we know that whatever we're having is properly settled. Then we turn on the camera. So our camera is on and then it's facing the altar. So now we will go to the system, and we are going to go to the system and then work on, take this feed to the system now. Let's go. Okay, so we've been able to plug in the other part of the camera. Now we have the other end of the HDMI. Now, you know, the HDMI itself is not an input device. It's an output device. So you need to take feed from the camera to the system. So if you just plug in this HDMI, it's going to give you an output. You want to take something from your system out. But with the aid of capture card, there are a series of capture cards, but this is the one we use. With the help of capture card, this capture card is going to convert the video on the HDMI into the system as an input. So once I plug this, Once I plug this, like this, it's whatever is on the system becomes, sorry, on the camera becomes convertible to a video file through this capture card. This becomes an input device and is now USB. So I'm just going to plug this USB to my system. So now it is plugged. So from here, we're going to go ahead and import the video feed from the camera into the system. So let's do that. The system, you need an application called vMix because that's what we use. If you have a video mixer, that's fine. But if you don't have a video mixer, you will require a vMix to be able to handle this. So we're not going to teach you how to use vMix today. That will come in other content. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and import our video into the system. So I'm just going to search for vMix on the system. I already have it installed. So I will turn it on. So vMix is opening. So vMix has been launched. Now you may have service templates that you have been using, but let's assume you don't have service in template. We're starting this as a new page. So once it opens, what you need to do is that you just go down to Add Input. You click on Add Input. Then you're going to go to camera, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you go to camera. Once you click on camera, you come up here and you see camera. So you click on it, and then these are cameras that have been used on this system so far. But for the input, that's from the camera to the HDMI to the capture card, is this USB video. So once you take in the USB video, you also make sure that your resolution is not less than this 1280 by 720 or 1280 by 1080p, any of them. This one, 1920 by 1080p, any of them will serve. So once you've done that, come down to this number here. Go down, you see a number. So this number are number of taps or things you add to the system. So anytime you're adding things of importance, you choose a number for it because this is the very first thing we're bringing in, so it's only number 1. So when you're done, you just click on OK. So once you click on OK, you see that the video has been added. Now, if someone appeared on the camera, like now you see that there is someone on the altar. So the camera is capturing still on the altar, and you can see that whatever is happening is already
Yeah.
in our system. And from here, we can go ahead in the video to come to take this thing from the system to the splitter, and then from the splitter to the TV screen of the church. So this is how you're going to connect your camera to your system.